that you call yourself a football scientist.
Y'all brought that up? Okay.
Can you tell me about that title, where that comes from?
I mean, I off the field, when I'm not doing football stuff, I really dive into neuroscience and human biology and stuff like that. And so I just like things that have to deal with principle. And so anytime I'm designing a player, I'm studying the players based on principle, not methods and trends. I always go with just the fact that you can't be in two places at one time. In 2002, I designed this play as a player. I had a lot of influence on our playbook as a player. However, the coaches did not like this play because they felt like if you pressed everybody, the play wouldn't work. Fair enough. We tried to run in 2007, we couldn't get it timed up. 2008, we couldn't get it timed up. We ran it here in 2016. Quarterback hated it, players hated it, coach hated it, but it worked. We ran in 2018. Cordell Patterson came to all our games. He's the one running it here with the Patriots. Then the Saints ran it. After the Saints ran it, all of college football started running it along with the rest of the NFL. Tony Romo gave credit to Sean Payton for designing the play, but it came out of my playbook.
You don't even know how to begin to try to defend that. That's just a great design. That's why if you have a coach who comes up with something like that, everyone gets a benefit. It's just a great design. I saw that 2 or 3 times last year in the NFL. Haven't seen it yet this year, and Sean brings it right back out.
Right? Well, hell no. This is the Massachusetts Pirates.
I'm with it.
I'm with it too.
Let's get funky, man.
I'm with it too. Hey, let's do it.
Let's get funky. Let's get funky. Clump right, wing yo, timeout screen right. Get in the end zone. I want one.
In the backfield, he's on the go. They toss
Touchdown.
it into Pearson. Touchdown! And 0.4 seconds to go in the game, and that should do it for the Massachusetts Pirates.
When I'm designing plays, I attempt to think like a defensive player and what they're supposed to do and what their principles are, and I make them break their rules. You can't be in two places at one time, so I try to put people in situations where they have to decide. And no matter what you decide, you're going to be wrong.
Line is, I guarantee the information you're going to get is going to be so valuable because the way that I coach is based off principle. Everything that I show you from the high school level to the pro level to the college level, I'm going to give it to you from the perspective of a coordinator, because when you're looking at it from the perspective of a coordinator, everything has to work together. It's good to go out and get your one-on-one skills down. However, if you're doing something and you're doing it in a box and it's just you're not necessarily thinking about the other 10 players on the football field. So my plan is to give you principles that you can apply to any offense, any team, any situation. And we're going to go through it that way. I started working with quarterbacks and, hey, can you come out here and coach my son? I'm like, absolutely. But here's the thing. I don't want to coach just your son. We need to coach your son and the entire receiving corps. Hey, can you come and work with my son? He's a receiver. Hey, I don't want to just work with your son. I want to work with your son and the quarterback and the rest of the receivers, because they're going to have to play the game together. And if you're out here doing your thing and doing, got all the releases, got all the routes, it doesn't matter if it doesn't work with the rest of the team. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work with the rest of the group, okay? And so we're going to attack this thing from an individual perspective, applying it to the group. I'll start with the quarterback, okay? But then as I talk about the quarterback, then I will translate to the receiver. And then we'll go from the formation. And then we'll go to the defense, right? When I teach you guys these principles, when we teach you guys these principles, I say we because I got a crew of guys. I got some athletes that I work with in high school that's going to make a few cameos. I got my mentor, the guru, Coach Eskridge, who is the founder and owner of Fast Start Athletics. And he's going to, make some cameos here and there. So when we teach you these things, we're teaching you from a basis of a team orientation versus a one-on-one orientation. Yes, you're going to go out and get your one-on-one training with whomever. However, I'm going to touch on the one-on-one stuff. I'm going to give you principles that's going to get you open every time. I'm going to show you how to get rid of the football without getting sacked. And it's going to make sense. And you can apply that to high school, you can apply it to college, you can apply it to pro. And how do I know this? Because as a successful coordinator, I've put these things into play. I've seen them work over and over again. And the thing about a principle is it never changes. So I don't care if you go from 1985 to 2085. These principles will last all the way through. And with that being said, what I'm going to do, just so everyone has an opportunity to get some of this, I'm going to put the basics on YouTube. However, there's levels to it. So you can come to YouTube anytime, get the basics, the concepts, basics of the routes, basics of the throws. But in order to get the sauce, to get the deep dive, the stuff that's going to really separate you from everybody else, you're going to have to go to the Patreon, okay? And there's going to be some more advanced stuff, some stuff that's going to get you open all the time, no matter what. And I'm not just giving you things that I've seen other people do. I'm not just giving you things that I heard other people say. I'm giving you things that work for me as a pro. I'm giving you things that I've taught other players that work for them.
New Jersey. Payton going to throw it. Got a man open. Lewis. Touchdown, New Jersey. So you said Buffalo was going to come.
As pros that work for them in high school, that work for them in college. These principles don't change. And the reason why I'm confident about giving you these things, and I know they're going to work in every situation, is because they work time and time again. It's based off science. That's why it's called a football scientist, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first lesson.